Hi, it's me, RachaelLyn, and today's Financial Friday is my November budget recap. So I am trying something a little bit differently. I am trying to make the different screens a little bit bigger. So if you'll pardon me as my head gets bigger and smaller as we go along, as well as like moving around on the screen. Of course, I'm going to cut all that down, but you'll just see me going all over the place, I guess, just to figure out how this works, just so that it's a little bit easier to read and a little bit easier to see. So my only notes for the month of November were, of course, my birthday, and I had added some extra money in for spending, just for myself for my birthday. Okay, so next I'm going to go over all of my income for the month. Where you see paycheck, that is just where I get paid as a teacher, and I get paid $1149.74 twice a month. That will be changing in the month of January, but as of November that hasn't changed yet. I got paid once at the end of the previous month, and I always apply that towards the next month, just because like getting paid on the last day, what am I going to do for 1 or 2 days? Like nothing. So I got paid interest from Capital One for my savings accounts, and I got paid for snack reimbursement. I pay for my students' snacks, and then I get reimbursed for that. So I got paid $58.42. I worked at Churchill Downs for 2 days for Breeders' Cup, which is prestigious, and we made like time and a half on those 2 days, and I made $529.06. Oh wait, that was actually 2 days plus an extra day I didn't think that I was going to work, so that was actually 3 days of work. And then I got paid, not really paid, but I deposited $500 in tips that I made in those 3 days, so that was pretty awesome. And then I got my other paycheck from school and from teaching. That makes a grand total of $3,395.19. Hooray! Okay, so let's see how I actually spent all this income. So for church, and it's kind of like tithing, but it's not exactly tithing because it's not a full 10%, but my church giving, I actually planned on giving $100 this month, but I actually ended up donating an extra $100 to an organization that I wanted to give to, and I just felt like with all the extra money that I made with Churchill Downs between my tips and working that extra money, I just kind of felt like I was called to give an extra $100 this month. So I did that. Of course, I never put in my student loans and like how much I put. I just do that at the bottom, and I don't put it in up here. So I've skipped all of that. And then, of course, I don't add to my extra checking because that is half of my emergency fund, and I don't add in my additional checking because that's just a spare checking account that I have just sitting there with $100 in it, just in case I want to use it until I finally decide to close it. And then, of course, I don't add my sinking fund money up here either. I did add the $8.23 in from the interest that I got from my savings accounts, my Capital One 360 accounts. I put my interest in, and that always goes immediately to my sinking funds because it's really not that much money, so I just kind of put it there every month. I paid $15.89 for my HP Instant Ink service that I pay for printing. I paid $53.16 to Verizon for my cell phone. And then I paid $10.99 to Netflix. These stars here mean that it automatically comes out of my account, so I don't really have to worry about it. I guess I should star the church too, because it comes out automatically too, but I haven't started. So for gas, I spent $20 at Kroger. That was when I still had my dad's car, and I didn't want to put too much money in there because he has a huge gas tank, and I just put $20 in, and it actually ended up being just enough to return my dad's car back to him with exactly how much gas I got the car with. So it worked out perfectly, actually. And then I had my car back and was able to fill up my tank for $20.91. And then I just filled up on the last day because I had plenty of extra money and I wanted to get that filled up before the next month, just in case I needed an extra fill up next month. I didn't want to have to like deplete that money right away when I had the extra. So I went on ahead and filled up for $17.80, and I still had $16.29 left in the budget. Next is my groceries, and I spent $55.75 at Kroger. I spent $5.35 at Walmart on the 26th. I spent $39.84 at Walmart on the 26th. That was two separate purchases I did, and the $39.84 were snacks for my kindergarten class. And then I spent $20.86 at Kroger on the 30th. This is starred because it's actually grouped together. It was one purchase that I split between, I think, 3 different categories in my budget, and I will talk about those when I get to them. My teaching allocation. If you saw my December budget setup video, then you will already know that I had talked about possibly being able to lower my teaching budget, and it is based on this month. I was able to make it through the month with spending very little, actually. I spent $7.42 at Target. I think that was all from the Target dollar spot, and a little bit of that is actually somewhat of a gift that my classroom elf is going to leave for my kids. So I haven't even used that yet, so it kind of is more like a December thing. And then I think I got a couple of items just from the Target dollar spot that's like, I don't know, like Christmassy, I don't even remember what I got, but I mean, it wasn't a whole lot. And then I spent $30 at Scholastic. I was getting some more listening center books that come with CDs to be read aloud for my kids in their listening center. That's mostly what that was. And I have not bought any books for my kids yet. I'm going to do that in December. And then the Dollar Tree, I actually did that on the 29th, and I plan on doing a little video about that soon, about using Christmas trees and decorating Christmas trees in my classroom for behavior management, and I'm very excited about it. I'm so excited to see what the kids think about it, and not even all of that $14.84 was for this project. Like $1 of that was for a bag of suckers that I gave my kids for my birthday from my classroom elf, and then like another $1 of that was something else. I don't even remember. But it was like, it wasn't part of that project. So the total that I spent was $52.26, and left with $47.74. Then for my spending allocation, I didn't spend, like, I actually spent way more than I anticipated when I went to Kroger, but that's part of the big Kroger purchase. So at Sephora, I spent $38.16. I needed some more makeup supplies. I got some more eyeliner, which turned out to be glitter black eyeliner, but you can't really tell because I'm wearing it right now, and I don't think you can tell, but I got the wrong kind, but that's okay. I'll need some more in, another month or two anyway, so I'm just gonna ride it out. And then I spent $40.51. I bought a big thing of new contact solution. The contact solution that I had been using, I think it was hurting my eyes, and like I still had like half the bottle left, and I had tried like the off-brand, and it just, like, it hurt every morning when I put my contacts in. It hurt my eyes, and I was pretty sure it was the contact solution, and I have now switched back to my regular, like, it's more expensive, but, my eyes don't hurt when I put my contacts in the morning. So there is, so that is like a big thing, and I bought a huge box that has 2 big bottles in it, so that was pretty expensive. I also got some new eye drops, which eye drops are really expensive, especially for contacts. Like, I mean, it was almost $10 just for the eye drops, and then the contact solution was expensive too. So, oh my goodness, like, that's expensive stuff. But it should last me quite a while, and I won't need to replace it for a while, but I have learned my lesson and will spend a little bit more on contact solution so that my eyes aren't feeling like they're being ripped out of my head when I put contacts in. And yet another category I did not overspend in. I'm so excited. I am so proud of myself this month. I was ready to kind of go over in some categories and say, well, it's my birthday, and like make excuses because it's my birthday month, and I didn't do any of that. And I am so proud of myself. And I spent $6.03 at McDonald's at the beginning of the month. And then that's it. Now, I will say, like, it kind of helped that I worked at Churchill Downs at the very beginning of the month. And yes, I did put in $500 from tips that I had made. But that wasn't all the tips that I made. I also kept some other cash. So there was a little bit of cash spent here and there from tips that I had made at Churchill Downs. I still have a ton of tips in my purse because I worked a couple other days that paycheck is actually going to go in December because I don't get paid until, actually, I'll get paid the day before I post this video. But so that'll go in December. But I got the tips in cash, and so I just kept that in my wallet, and I have a good amount. So I'm just keeping that money in my purse and just kind of using it when I need it, but even that money I'm using very, very sparingly. And then of course last week I started doing what I spent in a week, and I am covering what I spent even in cash, so you can see what it is that I'm spending on, and you know, whether it's in my budget on here or not. I'm just so super proud of myself. And I think, like, in the future, if I do have some extra money like this, I'm thinking that I'm actually just going to go to the bank, pull it out in cash, and then just kind of keep it. Not completely, you know, if I have $20, I'll go get $20 out of the bank and then keep that in my wallet for little overages here and there, just to kind of prevent me from going over in the future. Now, if I'm like $50 over, I might take $20 out and then, you know, leave the rest and put that towards debt. But I have plenty of money in my purse right now. I don't need to pull this out, so this $20 is gonna go towards you know, paying off debt and sinking funds and things like that. Alright, now on to the big spending of the month. I had to pay for my major car repair this month, $1,554.12. I was quoted at about $1,600, so they came in under budget, so that's pretty good. But, you know, my timing belt went out, and it just kind of tore up everything in my car. My dad, my dad's not a mechanic, so maybe if you are, you can tell me, but my dad said, well, you probably pretty much have a whole brand new engine now, and so hopefully it'll last me a very long time, so that's kind of my hope. And I put this note in here, it felt more like an inconvenience than anything else. It was not a devastation, it was just like, I don't have my own car for 3 weeks. I borrowed my dad's car, and when it came time to paying for the repair, I had the money to do it, and I didn't have to worry about it, and it was just inconvenient, and that's just amazing to me that I was able to do that. I spent $4.95 on some prescription eye drops, and I took that out of my medical fund. And then I spent $8.99 at Kroger. There's that star. That's another one of those, it was all one purchase. So this was actually, I found a huge bag of chocolates on sale, and I plan on tying 2 chocolates together to give to all of the people that I work with. Or at least like most of the people that I work with the most at school, like all the first grade teachers and the preschool teachers and the other kindergarten teachers and all their assistants and things like that. I plan on giving them just little chocolates, just to say, you know, I love working with you and that kind of thing. And I found a huge bag of it on sale for $8.99, so less than the price of like a regular small bag, and I got a huge bag of it, so I was super excited about that. So I went on ahead and got that. I may or may not need more chocolates, I don't know, but you know, I'm most of the way there for their gift. I just have to finish putting it together. Now I'm going to go back through everything just quickly over, you know, where I kind of keep track of all the running totals all together. Of course, I was $100 over in my church giving, and considering this is the only place that I went over, that's amazing. And if you're going to go over in one area, I would say that giving to the church or whatever kind of giving organizations that you want to give to, that's the place to go over. So, of course, I don't log this up here. It's logged down below, and I will show you in just a moment how much I was able to put towards all of that stuff. And my HP Instant Ink was good. Verizon, I don't know why it was, over by 9 cents, but it was. Netflix was fine. Gas, I was under by $16.29. And groceries, I was under by $3.20. And teaching, I was under by $47.74. And then restaurants, I was under by $43.97. And my spending money, I was under by $21.33. Now, I did put in an extra $15, so in that case, I was under budget by $6.33, just by my normal standards. So even that is great. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about how little I spent this month. So down here, my total income, of course, was $3,395.19, and I had an extra income of $1,095.71. I spent $605.74, but that doesn't include my sinking funds and all of that stuff. So let's go on down to that. So I'm going to skip all of this because if you've seen my December budget setup video, then you will see that these are different total amounts, and I'm just going to be honest with you right now. I have already completely changed all of this, and I plan on doing a mid-December budget update and show you all of what I've done here, because I just kind of did away with a lot of extras, and it looks a lot different. So stay tuned for my December mid-budget update. So over here, this is my main bank account. I just keep $250 in there. That's half of my emergency fund. I only have a $500 emergency fund, $250 in one account and another $250 in another account, because I feel like living at home and having a very, very steady job and secure job, I feel like I don't need a lot. And then I also have my sinking funds, which kind of support me in any emergencies that I might have, such as a major car repair, and I was able to shuffle a lot of things around in my sinking funds and kind of use that money instead of really using my emergency fund. So I begin and end each month with just the $250. That $250 is my emergency fund, and then I made this much and I spent that much, which gives me this total amount right here. $2,789.45 is kind of what I have left over. So that's the money that I spread between my saving for paying off one of my student loans, which I will be paying off in December now that my student loans are out of default, and then I also put money towards my sinking funds. So here are my grand totals. I put $2,500 towards my savings for paying off one of my student loans. So one of my student loans is, the total amount is like about, right now it's about $10,600, and I plan on just doing away with that loan in the month of December, taking that payment, snowballing it into my next set of student loans, and those are a group of 6 different ones that I'm going to snowball. And I could have snowballed the smaller ones and then gotten to this one, but I decided because I've saved up right about what I need to pay this one off, it's a huge win. It's one less payment completely that I have to worry about. So instead of worrying about 3 different student loan payments, now I only have to worry about 2 payments, and one of those is 6 loans, and now I'm going to snowball those. And so starting in the month of December. So I'm very excited about that, and I am just I just feel like, oh my gosh, things are starting to open up. Things just feel good right now as far as where I am financially, even though I am still way in debt. So, and I only put $289.45 towards my sinking funds, which is less than my goal of like somewhere around $300, but I just wanted to put as much towards my loan payoff as possible, and so I just kind of, I'm fine with that. I am absolutely fine with that, and it kind of changes the amount that I start December with. So if you've seen my December budget setup video, those numbers have kind of changed a little bit just because I put less in there than I had anticipated, and I'm okay with that, and I am just happy to be getting rid of that one $10,000 loan, and the fact that I paid it off in a year. I mean, I haven't paid it off yet, but I mean, I will. I have the money to do it, and I'll be doing that as soon as I make sure I know how to apply the payment, that I can pay that much from my account. I don't know if my bank account will let me pay all that much all at once, and then also making sure that it gets paid completely to the principal and is 100% paid off. I also have this extra account over here where I had been paying my student loans from. I have extra money in there just because there were some loan payments that didn't come out in the month of November because it kind of had a little bit of a break from paying loans between being in default and being out of default, and so I'm actually going to kind of use this money first, and then I don't know if I'll do away with this bank account or just kind of keep it there. I haven't really decided what I'm doing with it yet, but I'm definitely going to be using up some of this money and not have $1,500 sitting in there because I want to pay that towards debt, not just sitting there, especially because this is not an interest account. So these two numbers right here where I have my total amount of all the money that I have in bank accounts, I'm really sad to see that that is actually going to go away soon. I mean, it's going to go from $12,000 in this account to like $2,000, and I'm just like so sad about it, but it will also be a huge relief not to have that loan anymore. That is my November budget recap. Please give me a like for staying in budget in every single category this month. I don't know that I've ever done that actually, since truly starting this whole new budget, like back in March, I think is maybe when I changed the way that I do my budget, and I don't think I've ever stayed in budget in every category, so that's exciting. So give me a like, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think, and let me know how you did in the month of November, and also don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and watch me get out of my student loan debt. I'm this close to being $10,000 less in student loan debt. So that's it for today, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Oh my gosh, you have to check out my shirt. I wear this shirt periodically. Yes, I do. That is a fact.